What are best practices for database recovery documentation? Imagine a sudden system failure or data loss, and knowing exactly what steps to take to get your database back up and running smoothly. That's where good recovery documentation comes into play. It acts like a detailed map, guiding you through restoring your data quickly and accurately. Creating this kind of documentation might seem tedious, but it's a vital part of managing your data and storage systems effectively. First, you want to set clear recovery goals. Write down your recovery point objective, which tells you the maximum amount of data you can afford to lose, like backups no older than 4 hours. Then, define your recovery time objective, which is how long you can be down before your database needs to be back online. These targets help decide how often you back up your data and how you plan your recovery steps. Next, describe your backup policies. Specify whether you do full backups, which copy everything, or incremental backups, which only save changes since the last backup. Include your schedule, such as full backups every week and incremental backups daily. Be sure to note where backups are stored, whether on-site, off-site, or in the cloud, to protect against physical damage or theft. Also, list who is responsible for performing backups, checking their success, and their contact details. This avoids delays if someone is unavailable. Then, outline your recovery steps in detail. Provide clear instructions on how to restore your database from different types of backups. For example, how to restore a full backup first, then apply differential backups or transaction logs for point-in-time recovery. Include procedures for restoring to new locations or specific file groups if needed. Use simple language and step-by-step instructions, so anyone on your team can follow them without confusion. Data integrity is key, so include methods to verify backups are complete and uncorrupted before restoring. Schedule regular testing of recovery procedures to make sure they work in real scenarios. This way, you know your team can rely on the process when it counts. Roles and responsibilities should be clearly assigned. Document who handles each part of the recovery process, considering their skills and availability. Also, set communication plans to inform stakeholders during recovery. Specify what information to share, with whom, when, and how, so everyone stays in the loop. Automating backup and recovery tests can save time and reduce human error. Document security measures like encryption, access controls, and audit logs for backup files to keep sensitive data safe. Keep your recovery documentation stored in a central location that everyone can access easily. Regularly review and update it to reflected changes in your infrastructure, tools, or business needs. This ensures your recovery plan stays relevant and effective. Finally, include policies for long-term data archiving and contingency plans that might override or supplement your recovery procedures. These extra steps can be vital if your primary plan encounters unexpected issues. For backend developers working with APIs, databases, and server-side logic, having clear recovery documentation means faster troubleshooting and less downtime. It also helps automate parts of deployment, making your systems more resilient. When everyone knows exactly what to do, recovery becomes a straightforward process rather than a stressful scramble. In essence, good database recovery documentation is a detailed guide that sets recovery goals, describes backup and restore procedures, assigns roles, and is regularly tested and updated. This approach makes managing your data more straightforward, reliable, and ready for any unexpected hiccups.